very own Frank Luntz is standing by with a focus group. Frank, very interesting from my perspective. I would argue that that perhaps was the best response to a State of the Union address that I'd ever seen. And two very distinct visions of America, and I'm very curious what your focus group has to say.
Well, Sean, I want to go to video first because I want you to see the dials, the instant response that our group of swing voters reacted to, and in particular the deficit. When Barack Obama said that it was not going to add even a dime to the deficit, there was a positive reaction among Republicans and Democrats. Let's take a look at that clip.
Nothing I'm proposing tonight should increase our deficit by a single dime. It is not a bigger government we need, but a smarter government that sets priorities and invests in broad-based growth. That's what we should be looking for.
There were rare moments when both Republicans and Democrats agreed, and I want to ask you one question. Do you believe him that his policies will not add to the deficit? Do you believe it?
No. No.
Who believe it? Raise your hands. Why don't you believe it?
Because look at the deficit and how it keeps growing. I mean, it's spiraling out of control. It's continuing to grow. I don't see any evidence that it's going the other way.
He made a commitment that it wouldn't go up.
Everything costs something, so he's got to come up.
So he said that the $3,000 for people to refinance their home would get a tax break for that, $3,000. But he didn't tell us where that money was going to come from, so that adds to the deficit.
I believe he truly believes, he really is believing what he wants to do, and he wants to do the best thing for the country, and he's going to follow that through.
We have to stop this language of you and I know when I cut my budget, that means I go from $100 to $95. In the government, a cut in budget means we only grow 8% instead of 12%. And that kind of language and talking like that has got to stop.
You guys agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, the only cuts that have been made are cuts in growth. There's been no cut in the deficit.
But, Sean, I want to make it clear. Watch by show of hands. How many of you overall had a favorable reaction to Barack Obama's speech? Raise your hands. It's almost everyone, Sean, and half these people voted for Mitt Romney. So just from the Romney people, what did you like about Barack Obama's State of the Union address? A couple of you.
I liked his immigration, that he talked about putting people at the back of the line, and so that they didn't get preferential treatment just because they were here.
I think education, the reform he was talking about, affordability and making it efficient, I think that's going to, education, it all starts from education, really.
One more.
I like how he spoke of bipartisanship and working with Congress and moving the country forward by working together. I believe he means it.
How many of you believe he means it, that he's going to be more bipartisan this term than he was before?
He means it.
He wants to.
Well,
Sean, you have a question for them.
I do. First of all, did they see Marco Rubio's response? I'm very curious.
Yes, you guys saw Rubio's response. By show of hands, how many of you had a favorable reaction to Marco Rubio? Very quickly, because I know he's going to jump in there for the three of you. Why so positive towards Rubio?
Because he seemed to reflect American values, what this country is all about. Our strength lies in our citizenry, not in our government.
Victoria, you cast your first vote this year.
he was anecdotal, and he's a positive role model.
Did you vote for him?
Yes.
Susie?
He was just like me. He came from basic surroundings like I did, and he's believable and he's humble.
Sean, it was one of the most positive reactions to a State of the Union response, although how many of you laughed when he picked up the glass of water? I'm going to make you a bet, Sean, as a pollster, that Saturday Night Live.
I'll take that bet. I agree with you.
on this on Saturday.
Let me ask you, can I ask your group one question about this? Because there are very different competing visions here. And, you know, for example, your group, very astutely, they picked up on the government Fix It First program, the $3,000 mortgage program, invest in education, technology, new energy, infrastructure, climate change. All of that's going to cost money. And Rubio was saying government spends too much money, and we have $6 trillion in new debt since Obama's been president. Which vision did they like better, considering they liked both speeches?
Okay, I'm going to ask very quickly, which vision is stronger to you, is more appropriate to you, the government that spends more or the government that spends less? Rubio's vision or Obama's vision? Who says Obama's vision? Raise your hands. Who says Rubio's vision? Raise your hands. Now, a lot of Romney people liked Obama's speech, but now you're telling me that a lot of Obama people preferred Rubio's vision. Just two of you Obama people. Why was Rubio's vision so strong to you? Two Obama voters, explain that. Go ahead.
I mean, less spending, smaller government. I think we're all in favor of that. It's just a matter of how we can get there that we need to figure out.
And can we get there?
Yes, we can. And I would say to Sean, it's not always about spending money to have some of those policies put in place. It doesn't necessarily mean that we can't just ease up on some of the red tape and some of the other things that are holding those industries back right now.
You're one of the youngest people here. Does Marco Rubio understand your future?
Honestly, I agreed more with what Obama said during the State of the Union.
Explain.
I just felt that Obama was way more sincere, and when I was watching Marco Rubio speak, I just felt like what he was saying wasn't held to be true.
Now, I want to conclude with something I thought was important. At the beginning of Obama's speech, he said the state of the country was better today than it was before. How many of you agree with that? Two of you. What's going wrong with America?
It's just not growing. There's no continuity. There's no appeal to come together as a group and make it better.
Go ahead. Say it again.
We're going broke. I don't care what else you say. We're going broke, and eventually we're going to have to pay the piper.
Okay, well, and we've got to actually get out now so that Fox News can pay its piper. Sean, I thought that this was going to be a very divisive group, and they had some arguments while we were off camera.
Right.
But it's true. But it is nice to see. But it's nice to see that both in Barack Obama's case and Marco Rubio's case, that the group can like both presentations of both individuals.
Well, I like the guy that said pay the piper. I'm worried about our kids and grandkids, and we can't continue robbing money from them. That's just not fair to them. But we're going to come back to your group. Great group there, Frank. I appreciate it. We'll come back to them. And I predict now the big